today we're going to be finally doing what we've been getting a ton of requests to do. We're going to model out this truck tire piece by piece, pixel by pixel, curve by curve. The software that we will be using for this project will be Alias Auto Studio 2017 by Autodesk. For those of you who don't know, Autodesk softwares are extremely popular in transportation companies such as General Motors, Ford, FCA, etc. If you are aiming to be a modeler, learning at least two softwares that are modeling based are a necessity if you ask me. Maya and Alias are my left hook and right jab. I'll go more into this in a separate video, don't worry. Welcome to Alias, guys. Here's what we will be modeling out today. Tires and motherfucking rims, baby, what's up? In terms of difficulty, it's modeled at a second year student at a design school level, so it shouldn't be too much information to swallow. Second year means that we won't focus on blending every surface, but we will have radius relative to each other. The best way to example on how we're gonna go about modeling is to think of the curves we use as wires, and the surface that we create will drape over these curves. By the way, in the professional field, we use marking menus and hardly ever go into actual menus. But for beginners, I'll show you where to go for each command. Let's get to it. Number one, tire. So notice how this is constructed. These are the surfaces without curves for easy viewing. We have main round surface for the tread. Then we have three divided surfaces for the sidewall. It's modeled this way for VRED or keyshot rendering purposes. First, we need to be able to always find the center of our whole tire. As a base, we're going to use this cylinder face. You can find the cylinder in the surface tab. Right click this window to get our cylinder. Now make sure that you're in the side view by clicking on this box. I tend to work on the left side, so I'm clicking left. It will give you a perfect orthographic side view. And by the way, clicking on any face of this box will give you the perfect orthographic view. Make sure you have the cylinder selected and then ungroup it. Go to edit, then ungroup. If you click the box next to it, it'll show the details. As long as you don't modify the cylinder, you should be able to leave the preserve position on yes. If not, no biggie. You can always reposition it. Delete all the sides but one cap. Delete is located in the delete window under delete active. Take your face and middle click the marking menu, center pivot. Now I'm going to line this up with the reference tire size. And size it to the widest point. A simple scale is all you need, which is middle click for the marking menu. Go to curve edit, create, and duplicate curve. Now copy and paste that and move it over to the other side like so. It's okay to eyeball it. This is a sketch model. Time to drape the surface over our three curves. Go to surface and click the little box next to skin. For this, match your settings to mine. Click on the first curve, and while clicking the second and third, be sure to hold down the shift key while clicking on the curves. I will copy this technique for the sidewall. Copy, place in position, and scale. The only difference here will be that now I'll be selecting the surface instead of the curve on the third click. The technique we will now use is one I use a lot. Multi-surface fillet. To find it in the menus, go to Surface tab and click the Surface Fillet box. Actually, I have it set up this exact way for the marking menus. To keep it simple, I will leave the settings as basic. Boom. Select the two surfaces that you want to blend together and make sure that both arrows are pointed in relative to their parent surface, inward. This makes a positive blend. If you want to see a clutter-free view of all your surfaces, toggle model in your right-click marking menu is your best buddy. And also, if you have your cylinder face linked to the main tread surface like I do by accident, no problem, just copy it and delete it and then repaste it. I'm going to scale this so that we can work on the inner rim. Now we can just copy the innermost duplicate curve and copy the same technique we did with the tread and the wall surfaces. Basically doing the same thing over and over again. When you model, curve placement is key. The more time you spend with Alias, the more your eye will adjust to what effect a certain placement will have on a surface. Most surfaces I add will have some subtle curvature to them. Inside the rim, won't, as most performance rims don't have that. And also, rims have lips. That's why I'm putting the curve inside the tire surface. Normally, I skin the large surfaces first, then the smaller ones, lastly bridging the gap with a surface blend, in this case. On the back side, we can just put a surface of the tire and rim together without the lip, since it isn't in perfect view anyway. I modeled this side a bit differently to show off a tool that I personally hold near and dear to my heart. Yo, freeform blend, where you at, bruh? Come on down. See, freeform blend is located in surface, multi-surface, freeform blend. Click the box. And of course, you know your boy has it in the marking menus too. Come on, what's up? Naturally, in these type of models, I leave the default on G1 tangent. It's quick and to the point. G1 is a very subtle bend. As an example, look at how position looks without the curvature. Looks good, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, let's put that shit back. Alright, so now it's time for our rim. Now you're gonna need another software for this. I know, it's the Alias tutorial, but trust me, this will make life a lot easier. My rule is if you see a shortcut, it'd be foolish not to take it. Alright, don't think too much about that. So we're gonna go to Illustrator for a hot second. Boom! This image file is located in the description, so you should be able to follow right along. So go to Object, Image Trace, Make and Expand. Now for me, I want more detail in this vector, so let's undo all this, and let's try again. Go to this image trace box, go to the bottom and click Preview, so that we can see exactly what we're working with. If you don't see it, go to Window, Image Trace. This seems fair enough. Go to Object, Image Trace, and Expand. Select everything, right click and ungroup. You may have to ungroup twice depending on the image complexity. Now all we need are just these sections, so I'm gonna get rid of all this trash. Select our guys, and for the stroke, 1 point is fine. Turn off the fill though. And finally, go to Object, Artboards, and Fit to Artwork Bounds. Alright, time to leave this place. Go to File, Save As, and select EPS. Name it whatever you want, and hit Save. Then match your settings to mine. You do this and you'll be just fine. Now let's go back to Alias. Come on. Boom! To import our EPS file into Alias, go to File, Import, File. Since this is not a model file, we can leave the settings as is. Now keep in mind that it places the curves on the grid plane. We're just gonna grab them and place them in the proper position. Pivot points placement is key when moving these items around. Take note on where I place them. Oh, and for quick adjustments, the information window is amazing. I use it all the time. How it works is whatever you have selected will appear in that window. You have access to all this information in one click. The middle wheel marking menu. Naturally, having our curves be this heavy isn't ideal. Clean modeling puts the degree at 3 and spans at 1. That's always our home base. A way around this would be to cut your Illustrator paths in the same fashion you would when building them. For this sketch model, it's considered quick, dirty modeling. We'll go into what clean modeling is versus dirty and why both are used in the professional field. What? Oh, not now. We'll do that in a future video. Don't be greedy, come on. If you want a clean way to model without seeing too many unnecessary surfaces, the layers are a major help. I'll have the spokes on its own layer and the tires and rim in another so I don't end up touching the wrong surfaces. See, this makes life a whole lot easier. If you right click the layer, you can assign whatever you have selected to that specific layer. See how this surface isn't completely smooth? This gives me the opportunity to show off a couple of other tools I use a lot. The project then trim combo. Ooh. See how it works is you place the curve where you want it to appear on the surface and then you project it. Once the curve appears on the surface, as long as it is end to end or a closed curve, you can trim the surface. Allow me to introduce the Align tool. Now we're going to have two curves aligned to the surfaces. So the Align tool is located in Object Edit, Align, and then we're going to click Align 2008. The settings are subjective, but you can control the acceleration and looseness of the alignment. It's really up to the eye for these kind of type things. See? Alias prefers this transition. This patchwork is good for fast, dirty space fillers. So we made our patch. How do we scale this without it wanting to rip itself apart? Easy peasy. We'll just group the shit out of it, alright? Okay, so now since most of the tools and processes that will be used in this session have been explained, I will shut off my mic, at least until the next step. Now, I don't want to hype it up, but let's just say this next step is beyond incredible. It will wrap up everything together, not just this model. It, at its purest essence, is the understanding of life and access to the fourth dimension that will in turn allow us to span over the cosmos as an intergalactic type 4 civilization. Bruh. Actually, I forgot to mention how we're going to get the other spokes. We're going to duplicate them in a radial fashion. Go to Edit, Duplicate, Object, and click that box. Since this is going to be a 5-spoke rim, the number of copies should be 4 with a 72-degree distance between each spoke. And mine is going to be on the y-axis. To make the nuts, we're going to be going through both surfaces and we're going to be intersecting them. It's located right below project and menu. Now be sure to keep an eye on how I go about modeling with all these techniques. Let me know how this tutorial went. Was I moving too fast in certain areas? Do you guys want me to go into detail of each tool used? Do you guys want some simple visuals of these tools to help grasp the information faster? I mean, I'm going to do some of that for this future video anyway, not this one. Comment your suggestions below. Let's help make this a community that offers all kinds of perspectives. You know what? We're all bosses here. That's it, guys. And I leave you with one juicy tip. Before you model, ask yourself questions like, is it for a sketch overlay? Will it be put into a rendering software? Will it need to be 3D printed? These questions are important to ask yourself so you're not wasting time that could be better spent elsewhere. Now, I'll be constantly stating this in every model making video I make. Time is money. So this is two guys teaching industrial design, not to be confused with.
Today's first lesson will be on turning.
She like she finna turn into something. This ain't her final form yet and shit. She got bald spots on her skin. How many she got, SpongeBob?
25.
25 bald spots having an ass lady. A pale polka dotted potato person looking at.
That's enough.
Oh.
Huh? We love what we do. And hey, we're all in this together. Peace.
Flat booty ass lady, your back goes straight down.
Now then, turning.